like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Simon Marks. US President Joe Biden has spoken to Benjamin Netanyahu for the first time since taking office, according to news disclosed by the Israeli Prime Minister's office in Tel Aviv. From FSN's Washington bureau, Giles Gibson reports.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office says the two leaders had a friendly and warm conversation that lasted for an hour, and that they discussed strengthening the alliance between the US and Israel, the coronavirus pandemic and Iran. The 4-week wait for their first phone call had been interpreted as a snub of Mr. Netanyahu by some observers. During the previous administration in Washington, Mr. Netanyahu enjoyed very close ties to former President Donald Trump and his son-in-law and advisor, Jared Kushner. Giles Gibson, Washington.
Rush Limbaugh, the most influential and controversial voice on conservative talk radio in the US, has died at the age of 70. He'd been fighting lung cancer. He was a close ally politically of former President Donald Trump, a broadcaster who completely reinvented talk radio for the modern age in the US, with the largest daily audience in the country for a program broadcast across hundreds of stations. He was often racist, misogynistic, and homophobic. Last December, he argued political polarization in the US was so deep that the country may not be able to stay together.
I actually think that we're trending toward secession. I see more and more people asking, what in the world do we have in common with the people who live in, say, New York? And that it can't go on this way. There cannot be a peaceful coexistence.
Former President Donald Trump told Fox News he had spoken to Rush Limbaugh within the last couple of days.
He was very, very sick, and, from diagnosis on, it was just something that was not going to be beaten. But he was very brave. I mean, he, in theory, could have been gone 4 months ago, really. He was fighting till the very end.
The European Court of Human Rights is demanding the release of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who was sentenced to nearly 3 years in prison earlier this month. Mr. Navalny says the charges are politically motivated. He's appealed the sentence. Prince Philip, husband of the Queen, is spending the night in hospital. Buckingham Palace says the 99-year-old was admitted on the advice of his doctors as a precautionary measure after feeling unwell. The United Nations is to question the United Arab Emirates about the detention of the 35-year-old daughter of the ruler of Dubai. Princess Latifa initially tried to flee the emirate as a teenager, and the BBC this week secured video in which she claims she's being held against her will in a villa that has been turned into a jail. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You know, out in Nevada near the silver mines, there's a kind-hearted woman. She's looking so fine, always taking care of her community. Bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
And welcome to this week's episode of City Talk, and I'm About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy, your host. Today, I am joined by Kirk Allaire. Did I say it right?
You did. Thank you.
Ooh. So, Kirk, GratisGives, you are one of my main sponsors. So, thank you. We are also sponsored by Kim Surratt with Surratt Law Practice. Kim would normally be here, but she's in the legislative season right now, so she's busy helping our community that way. But we also have two amazing women in our community who give back every single day. So I'm not sure which way you're looking at it when you're viewing our screen, but Goni-Stewart, the executive director of Poor Kids Foundation in the pink, wave your hand up there, Annie. And we can't wait for the next segment when you will share a little bit about your organization and what you guys are doing. And Mari Hutchinson, the executive director of Step 2 in Reno, welcome. And I got to say, many moons ago at St. Albert's, when I was a parish life, even before parish life director, Step 2 was one of the first nonprofits that I was honored to be a part of, collecting items for Christmas and actually delivering them to one of the cottages way back. I'm talking 15 years ago. So it is an honor to have you here as well. So Thank you. We're going to be talking to both these amazing women with Kurt, because Kurt is the reason why we are all connected, and we will hear more about GratisGives processing and how he makes things happen. But with all that said, I also want to give a shout out to FenixMedia.us. Christian is behind the scenes making all this happen. Christian, we love you and we thank you. And you can go to FenixMedia.us to find out more about all the shows. And if you want to be a sponsor of my show, you can check that out too as well. My top is compliments of the Biggest Little Fashion Truck. We want to thank you. Caliber Hair and Makeup Salon, hair color, braids, I love them. A new set decor. This is a first for me to say I have a set decor person. I want to thank Neil Cahill with Half Past. So he surprised me with About Town Deb and these hearts that he made. And you know, I love the whole wine thing with About Town Deb. So Neil had saw that I was, supporting El Dorado Wine Country and Children's Cancer Foundation. So he said, hey, I'm going to make these for you, and you can get them at Nevada Sunset Winery for $10. And the whole $10 will be donated to Northern Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation. And during this month until Friday, it will be doubled by the William N. Pennington Foundation. So I will be at Shields from 3 to 6 o'clock on Friday, being About Town Deb. I'll man the phones. I'm going to be texting people because my goal is to raise $1,000 on Friday, and I've already hit my $5,000 goal. So these children have had to really struggle during the pandemic, just like all of us. So anyway, we want to thank Half Caste for donating these, which I did purchase this for a donation, but he did donate this to me. So I'm excited about that. Other things that are happening in my world is we have a new Facebook page group. So you can go to About Town Deb and get like the ins and outs of what's happening and some deals. So please be sure to check out my Facebook page. The other thing is Kimmy Candy. I'm sure, do you guys know Kimmy Candy?
Yes.
No, Dutra.
That show is amazing.
I know. Well, we did a little interview at his place, and we've been talking about doing a candy for 10 years. So we're in the process of figuring out a Dev's candy that I can donate a portion to charity. So again, my whole goal is to always partner with people. So with that said, $1 of every bottle will be going to a charity, right now. We will also do that with the candy. The other thing that we're doing is we are also, we're having an event, Weird Reno. Have you seen that on social media? Anybody? So it's with the Riverwalk District, and it's whimsical, it's magical, and I am taking a group of 20 because we have to follow the guidelines if you sign up. And there's going to be a 75-minute Riverwalk tour in downtown with magicians. I keep wanting to say magicians. So there will be magic, and it's $25, and the $25 will go to the Children's Cancer Foundation. I'm finishing up their donation, and then every quarter I will switch to a different nonprofit. So anyway, that is happening, and at the end of the show, I'll tell you about who our nominees are for the bartenders competition that we're having, and I think I got it all in. And today is the Random Acts of Kindness Day. So I'm just going to shout out. I know it's almost time for our first break. So I am going to, let's see. Here's an easy random act of kindness. Be kind to your server, because you know the servers have had to struggle. So be kind to your server. Please be sure to say thank you. And please be sure to tip and let them know you appreciate them, because I'm sure they're getting a lot of, people not being happy when they can't sit together and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I think it's that time for the first break. When we come back, we are going to be talking to Annie and Mary and Kirk, and we'll reintroduce Kirk, and he will be introducing these amazing women and what they're doing and how he is partnering with them to make a difference and give back each and every day. So stay tuned. It is About Town Dev with City Talk. I cannot wait to come back over the break and see how you can learn about these amazing 2 nonprofits and how you can share random acts of kindness for the rest of the week. So it's About Town Dev. Stay tuned. Be right back.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take. You would of course prepare. You would talk with your loved ones and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate a buck to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to the second segment of City Talk, and I'm your host, About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy. I want to thank again my amazing co-host, Kurt. Thank you, with GratisGives, also a sponsor. And we have Annie and we have Mary with us, so we're going to be chatting with both of them. I also want to send a reminder that this is Random Acts of Kindness. And I feel like we need to all hold each other up, and we need to show grace and be kind and be considerate and do all those little things that we could do to make a difference. And having two incredible local nonprofits on the show, what more kind can you be? Because nonprofits give of their heart and the volunteers give every single day. And that's why it's important for me as About Town Deb with my mission is to always make sure we give back. So that is the best act of kindness that you can do. So perfect timing to have Kurt as my co-host. And let's give a cheers to all the nonprofits. So whatever you have, today I am hosting with Frey Ranch because we love their whiskey. And I think Kurt also has Frey Ranch. Women. They have water and whatever else. So let's do a cheers. So let's put this up. And we want to thank everybody out there for tuning in today. So Kirk, one more thing, Grandma B and Aunt Glenda, shout out. You know how Carol Burnett does this? I just do Grandma B and Aunt Glenda, I love you, thank you. So Kurt, I would love you to introduce Annie first and say a little bit about your mission and how with GratisGives processing, how it came about, where you partnered with 12 of them this year. So take it away.
Well, before I introduce Annie, let me just say that we live in such an amazing community. We live in a community that people genuinely care about the well-being of the community. People genuinely care about this is their piece of the earth, and they want to take responsibility for it and make it better. In that, not everyone always knows how to volunteer more or contribute more or give more, but a lot of people want to. And that's what excites me about this program, and having nonprofits like Annie with 4Kids Foundation and Mary with Step 2 in the program, is that local merchants get to be connected with these nonprofits and make a contribution behind the curtain. And the nonprofit wins, the merchants win, the community wins. So Annie and I have been working together for probably now 2.5 years, maybe close to 3. We met, in fact, and she was one of the first nonprofits in the program, and she has been an absolute amazing pleasure to work with, and what they do is amazing. And Mary, you've been in the program for about a year, and you are an amazing person as well. You inspire me, by the way. So Annie, if you take a couple minutes and tell us kind of what you do and the dots that you connect and who you serve and where you serve and why you serve.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kurt, for supporting us through GratisGives, and thank you, Deb, for inviting us to join the call today. 4Kids Foundation is a nonprofit that's been serving Northern Nevada since 2003. Our mission is to fund the urgent unmet needs of children in Northern Nevada. We help kids from birth all the way to up to age 21 And we pay for medical, dental, psychological, and educational products and services when there is no other resource. So we want to be that one organization that says yes when everybody else says no. And so now we're really working to expand up into, we serve Northern Nevada. So for us, it's basically everything north of Clark County. And we're looking for kids that have needs that aren't met by other resources. So especially with the educational needs of COVID, all the results of spending a year studying from home and maybe missing dental appointments or medical appointments, there's needs out there that we need to fill. And so we're asking for the community to help us identify those kids that we might be able to help, refer them to our website, and I'll take it from there.
Well, I actually have a question, or I want to make sure that people understand. When you say that you guys pick up what has fallen through the cracks, so let's say a family has insurance maybe, but they can't afford the deductible, or whichever way, you're there to help with whatever they don't have help with. Is that, am
That's
I
correct.
getting that right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And
so we'll help pay the copay, or get a discount. We ask for discounts from our service providers so we can help get that service for the child. But that would be one example of a medical need. What they have, some of the families don't have insurance, so we work to negotiate a fee. Others have insurance, can't afford the copay, or some of the services just aren't even covered under the family's insurance. So we'll step in to cover those types of requests. But we partner with other organizations around town to make sure that there is no overlap, right? To refer those kids to the other organizations, or to also help them refer as a referral source to help them find, like Healthy Smile, Healthy Child has a program that offers children dental care for those families that don't have dental insurance. And so we always try to eliminate all the other resources first before we do our due diligence to bring the application to our board of directors. I have an amazing board of directors. We have 12 people that we get together every 2 weeks by phone to discuss every single application and really discuss, what's the benefit for this child. And so that's kind of how it works. Families apply through our website, and I'll contact the family and take it from there. If it's not something we help with, I'll try to find another resource for them.
And so what is the website? And if a family is at home or they're watching and they're like, okay, I have a child that's 2, or I have a daughter who's 19, what kind of questions in their mind should they know to ask you to know that they qualify, and where would they go to do the application?
Okay. Our website is simply 4kidsfoundation.org, and it's FOR, 4kidsfoundation.org. And basically, to be eligible for our services, you have to live in Northern Nevada and have a need that's not met by another resource and be under age 21. So even for those foster kids that age out of the system at 18, that still might not be able to afford dental care or eyeglasses or whatever the situation is, we're there to step in and help pay for that. The application is one page, very simple. And we have a Spanish application for those folks who don't read and write in English. And I have a couple of board members who speak Spanish fluently that can help out. Mine's marginal, but we can get the board members to step in and help with the interview process if the family needs help translating into English, so that we can get them the help they need.
So, Kirk, if you don't have a question, I have another question.
I would love, Annie,
go
if you
ahead.
could tell us a little bit about what you do at the holidays is amazing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you go shopping with the families?
Yes. So if an award has been approved by our board of directors, in certain cases, we'll order the product to be delivered. We'll pay the service provider, like a dentist, eye doctor, medical facility directly. Or in some cases, we'll go shopping locally with the families, just so that we can ensure that the funds are used for the purpose intended. And so on rare occasions, we'll get a request for clothes or shoes or special items, but we'll take the family shopping, and that's a lot of fun for me to see the joy in their faces. We had a family that needed a heater for their small little apartment because the heater was broken and the landlord wasn't fixing it, and they had a special needs child with a lung issue, and it was snowing outside. So a board said, go down to Walmart and get them a heater. So I met them in the parking lot and handed the heater over to them, and they were thrilled because now they've got heat for their little tiny apartment. So, that was just one kind of award that the board approved. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Sometimes I'll get off the phone after talking to these people and I hear the pain in their voices. You know, they've got a child that has a need that they can't fill. As a parent, that's got to be awful, right? And so when I tell them that we're going to help them get the child medication or whatever the service is, and they just break down and cry on the phone, I got to get off the phone and cry a little bit too. Tears of joy, because we actually are helping change that child's life, you know, and helping the family.
Oh. You hear the passion? Oh my God.
I'm like,
I love listening to you.
I
love it.
I really love it. Yeah, I do. And I'm blown away with the generosity of our community and the support that we get from local businesses and the GratisGives folks that have chosen 4Kids Foundation. So, and you know, people like Kirk and Debbie, all you guys, you know, it's just amazing.
So Kirk, I'm going to throw it back to you for a moment. So I don't know whether maybe I missed it because I was so excited how it was amazing you guys on set. What gave you the idea to do what you're doing and give back with the processing fees?
Oh, I don't think we have time for that, but let me just sum it up.
Give me a short version. Give me a 2-minute version.
I was raised by a single mom, and we served all the holidays at all the shelters, and it was in me. And when the company started growing and we had a surplus, we had an internal meeting and said, how do we give back? And it was really important to me that it was just local. We only work, if we can't change this, we have no attempt to try to, we have no reason to attempt to try to change something elsewhere. So, and we love our community. Everyone here loves our community. You know, we love the mountains. We love everything about it. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take it to Mari because we have like 2 minutes. So I'm gonna ask Mari, how do you see, or can you see a way that step 2, how the kids, you know, how the Kids Foundation and step 2 can overlap and help each other?
For sure. And in fact, we actually have had kids in our program and moms specifically at step 2 who have reached out to the 4Kids Foundation with needs for their kids. And the 4Kids Foundation have taken great care of them. The thing about our local community is, you know, we're about a 1 degree separation, all of us nonprofits. We all work together. We share populations. Annie's team there, you know, they work with kids, they work with the young adult population that's aged out of foster care. And we have a lot of crossover with that population as well. You can't find a nonprofit organization in Reno that doesn't work closely with other nonprofits. It truly takes a village in a community like ours. And we have all these vital nonprofits. I'm amazed every day how well we all work together to serve more and more people with more and more resources.
Okay, well, you know, it's going to be time. It's going to be time for a break again, but both of you don't go away. But before we go out, I want to give another very simple way you can share an act of kindness. Especially now with our mask, make eye contact. We may not be able to smile as big. Smile with your eyes. Make eye contact and be sure to say hello, thank you, excuse me, hold the door. I know these are things we all grow up with learning, but I think we all get busy in our lives. So just remember that simple thank you. Have a good day, good night, good morning. So we're going to take a break and we will be right back. It's about to end up with City Talk. We come back, we're going to talk a little bit more, a tiny bit more with Annie, just to make sure we get all of her contact. And then we're going to go talk to Mari about step 2. So we'll be right back about 10 to.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org, brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate up to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at GratisGives.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us.
You know that's what she said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back for the third segment of City Talk, and I'm your host, Debbie McCarthy, About Town Deb. And since I'm About Town Deb, it's my town, your town, any town, let's connect. Please connect on social media. You can make a comment, and you know what? If you have any tips for random acts of kindness, please put it in the comments. If you know somebody who's done something amazing and kind, please give them a thank you. Put it in the comments. And if you have a favorite nonprofit, we know we have two of our favorites right here. Be sure to give them a shout out, because being Random Acts of Kindness Day, we really do need to think about all those kind. And another simple way, I've been saying really simple ways. If you are on social media and you're watching on either YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, please comment on your favorite nonprofits. Like their page, comment, because all that interaction does help them. And it's your way to say thank you, a simple thank you, or write a thank you note, mail a thank you note. Those are other ways that are I know that my parents, if I would get a gift, I couldn't use the gift until I wrote a thank you note. And now my kids, I say, you have to thank your grandma, thank them, do a group text, whatever. If you're not going to write it, do a thank you text. So there's many ways that we can do random acts of kindness, and, pay it forward, buy the coffee, or, you see somebody who's dropped something, pick it up. So those are all things we could do. And speaking of kindness, step 2, Mary, we go way, way back over break. Way back when we were on Common Sense with Katie, and I would be at Data Matters and doing the social media. We love that you were continuously there and sharing about step 2. And like I mentioned earlier, I gotta say, I knew step 2 when you were, before you were even your new place. And I love the opportunity to be able to gather Christmas items for a young mom with her kids. And we actually brought the items to her place, and she was so grateful. And I think she needed a toaster and different things. And just to see her so grateful that somebody from the community made a difference and cared about her, really, that's what it's about. As Kurt says, our community gives back every single day. So I would love you to tell a little bit more about step 2. I know you're breaking the cycle of addiction and violence in families. You're saving lives. You're restoring families. These young women, I don't know where they would go if they didn't have a home to go to. So I know, Kurt, if you want to ask a question, otherwise, go ahead and take it over, Mary.
Mary's the best at this. You go.
I know.
Oh, it's funny because I always say I can talk about step 2 till I'm blue in the face, and I often do. So as Annie is with hers, just am incredibly passionate both about the mission that we serve in our community and the families that we're serving. And Deb, to your point, it's so incredibly rewarding to be within a nonprofit or to be somebody in the community who donates time or give Christmas gifts to people through a nonprofit. There's just nothing better. There's no better feeling. For me to get to do it for 10 years now, I've been at step 2. It's such a gift to me. So for those that are listening that aren't familiar with step 2, at its core, we're a long-term substance abuse treatment program for women with children. We're up in North Reno. We've been here in Reno. We were founded in 1986. So we turned 35 years old this year. So we're a long-time private local nonprofit. And we have women live on our campus. They receive very intensive substance use disorder treatment. They are with us usually for a year to a year and a half. Their kids get to move on campus with them in the second phase. And then we really focus not just on sobriety, but life skills and things like finding suitable and gainful employment so that these moms can support themselves and their families, and working on things like budgeting and nutrition and a lot of the things that so many of us take for granted. But 84% of the women last year that came to step 2 came with a family history of substance use. So most of these women had one or more parent who battled addiction growing up. As you guys are aware, things like substance use, violence in families, domestic violence, poverty, homelessness, these are generational issues. And step 2's mission and goal is to help break those cycles and have women who are very self-supported and clean and sober.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, did I say something wrong?
No, someone has a mic on. It's in the background.
It was, I have guests in the studio and they're like, I'm apologize.
Well, I couldn't even hear them because I was just talking about.
Thank goodness. Thank you. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Anyway, they have to leave because they're making me laugh. No, they were just laughing about me. But no, I did want to say that a lot of people don't know that they actually have the cottages and they have a place to stay. And I want to say, is it 20? I wasn't sure if it's 20 bed residential, 25. Tell me a little bit about the cottages so people know when they're making a donation, supporting what it actually goes to.
Yeah, I love talking about the cottages. It's actually my favorite part of our program. So most women come to step 2 and they live in our 20-bed residential facility. But then after a woman completes residential treatment at about 3 months, she and her kids can move into one of the cottages on our campus. And those are 1, 2, and 3 bedroom cottages. They come fully furnished with pots, pans, dishes, couches, beds, TVs, everything a woman and her children need. And that's all community donations. And when a woman about a year after that is ready to move off of our campus, she's clean and sober, she has a job, she's reunified with her kids, and then they get to take all of those household items with them from the cottage as they move into more permanent housing.
I mean, if you think about that, that is such a big deal because they can have all that there and they could pass the program and then they have to go and they're starting over again. I really feel like that's the big deal that you guys are doing that. It's
perfect explanation of setting them up for success.
Yeah, otherwise you're not.
Yeah.
I love that piece.
Yeah, well, it's such a barrier to have to go purchase a house full of furnishings and furniture. It just would be cost prohibitive. Women would never really gain traction as they're moving off our campus. Our goal is, as Kirk just said, is to set them up for success after step 2. And a big piece of that is having everything that they need in addition to being clean and sober. Of course, that's our primary focus with these women, but all of the other things we focus with them are equally important, because she has to raise her kids and she has to be self-sufficient, else most likely she'll end back up with a batterer. And 97% of our women have been the victims of domestic violence in their lifetime.
So how do they find out about you guys? I mean, I know you could tell us the website, but again, like I was saying with Annie, if you are a best friend of a girl and you see the signs and you're afraid to approach her to tell her, I have a solution, what's the way to have that conversation with somebody?
Well, it is tricky, because people that are in the heart of their addiction, if they're not ready for treatment, they're not ready. But I always tell people, educate women about step 2, because one day she will be ready. And maybe it is today. You should always have that conversation. But maybe it's not today, but it's coming. So giving our website or just talking about step 2, I always encourage people, come for a tour, come see our campus, come see what we're doing. We give tours to people who are interested in coming for treatment or being more involved with step 2. And it's a good way to see what we're doing, but we also have brochures. So I tell people, come grab a brochure if nothing else, and just leave it for your loved ones and let them know step 2 exists, so that the day they're ready, they can reach out and call and make that connection.
So Kurt, how did you find out about step 2?
I know one of the board members, Brian Cassidy, who I'm good friends with him, and he exposed me to it. And then I went up and toured the facility and had a one-on-one with Mari. And to be honest with you, Mari blew me away. Her approach to processes and systems and organized structure for an environment that houses people that didn't necessarily have that structure is ridiculously amazing. I love it. In fact, I've brought people up there on tours and I've seen people cry. It's just amazing what they do. So once I saw it, I'm like, yep, I got to put them in the program and put them in the program, and love it. And in fact, we have a great story of connection. One of the merchants that picked you guys through the merchant services is a auto mechanics place. Was a Specialty Automotive, right?
Specialty Automotive,
Right?
Automotive, yep.
That you guys used to do business with and you lost touch with.
Yeah,
it's so reconnect.
Yeah, it's such a neat story, and I'll just give a summary of it real quick. But years ago, when I first came to step 2, we have 6 vehicles, vans for transporting clients and a big box truck to go pick up donations. And we have 6 vehicles. And years ago when I came, we had just a really great local auto mechanic that would work on our cars for us at a very reasonable rate. And more importantly, we trusted him not to gouge us on things or fix things that didn't need fixing. And one day he disappeared. He was gone. And then fast forward about 5-6 years later, Kirk notifies us that Specialty Automotive has chosen step 2 for their GratisGives funds. And that was the company. The guy who owns it now used to work for the previous owner, but they'd moved to a completely different area of town, and we had no idea that they were still up and running. So we use them again for our vehicles. I use them now personally for my own vehicles as well.
Okay, well, you know what? It's that time again. I can't believe it. It's time for another break. Please be sure to like all of our pages, and we will be right back. When we continue, we will share a little bit more both with Annie and Mari, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about random acts of kindness and how we all can make a difference. So stay tuned. It's About Town Deb with City Talk. Be right back.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting LawyersForFamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Ready to help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to About Town Deb City Talk. You know what? Who I forgot to thank? Dee James. DDJames.com. My song. That was like horrible. Sorry, Dee James. Every time I hear that song, I want to dance. I want to boogie. It just makes me happy. And at some point, we're going to bring it into one of our Reno producers, and we're going to, he's written a whole song. So eventually it'll be an official song. It just takes time. It takes money. So we're waiting for that. But right now we got our jingle, and I'm so grateful. Kurt, number one, thank you for being a sponsor. Thank you for being GratisGives Processing. And I am a proud member of GratisGives Processing. So when any of my people pay their bill or they make a purchase on my website, a portion will go to 2 charities. So honestly, if you're out there and everybody has to do processing. I mean, we all have to, at some point, where's a credit card swipe? There's some kind of swipe. So might as well swipe and give back. So Kurt, thank you for the opportunity to partner with you and to be a part of your community with your people. So I do appreciate that.
Of your community.
Well, of course, we're all together with one heart. But I'm before we go on, I'm just going to read. I had to come up with something for. It was a hope. There's another campaign providing hope that is in our community. So here's what I put for it. Life is never perfect. It always has ups and downs. It is during the difficult times that a word of encouragement and gestures of kindness are most helpful. Take time to sprinkle kindness and bring hope to the lives of others. You'll never know how far it'll go. Every day is a new day, full of hope and blessings to come. Take a breath and remember, together we are one heart. And reach out and know you're not alone. Hope is always around the corner and one smile away. Believe and know you are loved, and you are loved. So before I cry, I feel like the 3 of you right here, you do provide love and you provide hope every day to the women and the men and the kids and your business associates and your community. So I couldn't be more honored to have you all three here today. So enough of that. I just wanted to get all that done so you know how much I care about you. So let's go, before I get all mushy, let's go back to both of you. So I'm going to, Annie first and then Mary. How has, with the pandemic and different things happening, how can people make a donation? Is it via gift cards, financial products, items? How best can we help you right now at this moment?
I think first and foremost, help us identify children in need. If you know a child that's suffering or needs a service or a product that the parents or guardians can't afford and there's no other resource, send them to our website, refer them to me, give me a call, and I'll take it from there and see if we can help. As a community, you know, you can participate in the GratisGives program if you're a business. If you buy on Amazon, you can choose Amazon Smile. That's another way. And a portion of your sales will go to the nonprofit of your choice. Or we also have a partner here in town who sells Melaleuca. It's an online shopping program. It's on our website, and you can reach out to her and also choose 4Kids Foundation as your charity of choice. And then also we have a golf tournament coming up. It's a COVID safe event. We pulled it off last fall very successfully. So we're going to do another one this year, our 5th annual golf tournament. It's Friday, May 21st at Red Hawk Resort in Sparks. So you can go to our website. The registration page is there. If you want to donate an item for our raffle for that big event, you could do that also. Like I said before, our website is 4kidsfoundation.org. I'll give you my phone number. Do you want my phone number, or it's going to be on your side?
Of course we want your phone number.
Okay, my phone number is 775-741-5231. So call me, and if you identify a child and aren't sure if it's a service that we cover, give me a call and I'll let you know if it is, and if it's not, we'll try to find another resource so we can help out.
Annie, you rock it. Look at you. Your spirit is shining bright. Mary, your turn to shine bright.
I almost wanted to say ditto to everything.
I know, isn't
said,
it? I was thinking the same thing.
Do you have a golf tournament on May 21st also?
I have one on May 28th. So Plan Annie's one Friday, and then the very next Friday, we do our annual golf tournament on Friday, May 28th. We're up at Old Greenwood in Truckee, which is where we do our tournament every year up there. So we also have a golf tournament coming up. And also, as Annie said, what we really need help from the community sort of emergently with COVID is help referring women into treatment. It's no secret that this pandemic and the social distancing and people being secluded at home is wreaking havoc on people with mental health disorders, substance use disorders, domestic violence in their home. And we anticipate as we start coming out of being shut down so much that we're going to just see all of those cases off the charts. And so we really need the community's help in the outreach. If you know of a loved one who battles these things, please refer her to Step 2. Our website is a great place to start, whether it's somebody looking for treatment or if you're interested in making a donation, either of goods for our cottages or a financial donation, or to learn more about our events. And our web address is step2reno.org. That's the number 2 in there. So we're step2reno.org. And we have a lot of great information on our website on how people in the community can help or get treatment.
So Kurt, thank you, Mary. Kurt, you tell us a little bit how, if you're a business out there and you're listening and you want to give back with your processing, how do we do that?
Pretty simple. Most businesses out there take credit cards, and if you take credit cards, you qualify. By moving over to the GratisGives program, you could pick one of the local, actually you could pick 2 of the local 12 nonprofits that we work with, and a portion of every sale will go to the nonprofit of your choice. And the benefit of the program is it doesn't come out of your pocket, it comes out of the savings. So you don't ever have to write a check. It's a set it and forget it environment. And then you get to partake in the celebration every year. And you get social loving from the nonprofit, you get social loving from Gratis, and it's just an all-around win-win-win. Win for the merchant who signs up because they save money. It's a win for the nonprofit because we identify a new donor and a new connection, and it's a win for us because we get a new account. So it's pure, it's transparent, and everyone that's in the program loves it.
Sounds good to me. So now, before I forget, number one, thank you, all three of you. I want to make sure you know you've been thanked tremendously. I am so grateful, and I will promote both your golf tournaments. So I have a feeling that Mary has an insight in. So you could just shout out to my marketing director and say she has carte blanche on anything. And Annie, you be sure to connect with me, and we would love to promote yours as well. And I don't know if you need any beverage booths or anything. I usually have connections to get spirits or wine. So you never know. About Town Deb may be able to help with that. But definitely, I would love to help promote. You have my word on that. So there's a number one I could give. And next, speaking of beverages, our next week's show, one of your amazing gals, Cherie Butler with Hungry in Reno, she is one of my cohorts with Nominate Your Favorite Bartender, because next Wednesday is Bartender's Day. So our top three are Dylan Kelly of Legends in it said in Sparks, but to me it seems like it's in Reno. Joe Fossig of Peppermill, the Terrace Lounge. Dylan Evans of 1864. So starting Sunday on social media, we will have a little bit about each one. And then the lucky winner is from Hungry in Reno is going to get their $150 fee waived to be a part of the Reno Restaurant Week. And we will have a trophy, and who knows, we'll have some other goodies. But we're really excited, and this is the first one, so every year we'll get more and more I think we had over 20 that were nominated, so we're excited about that. So next week you will see the winner live at their establishment, so we're not going to tell you where we will be ahead of time. And before I forget, we also want to say, number one, thank you again. I want to make sure you know Kurt, thank you, and Kim Surratt, who is one of our sponsors, thank you, and Christian back there, thank you. And be sure to remember today and every day, don't be too busy. Remember, don't be too busy. You know, you can't use the excuse, I don't have enough money, I don't know what to do. There's plenty of ways, like I said, the simple smile, opening a door. There's plenty of ways to share kindness. You could donate blood. There's, you can, pay somebody's library fees. You could put a note in a library book. But anyway, before we go, I know we're getting close to the end. Kurt, do you have any last minute things you'd like to say? You each have a few more seconds to give your last shout outs.
Just want to say thank you to Andy and Mary. I appreciate everything you guys do for the community and everything you do for Gratis, the program. And just love having you guys. Thanks for coming on today.
And Kurt, what's your website? What's your website, Kurt? 1 minute. What's your website, Kurt?
GratisGives.com. Bam.
Mary's website?
Step2reno.org.
Annie?
4kidsfoundation.org.
And me, About Town Deb. You can go to abouttowndeb.com on social media. Just Google About Town Deb, you'll find me. If you have, also Friday mornings, I have a segment on Good Day Nevada. So in the mornings on Friday, I'll be sharing my picks. And so it is that time to go. I'm getting this from Jazzy, Georgia. I love y'all. It's About Town Deb. See you next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
That was fun.
Kurt, where'd Kurt go?
I said we lost Kurt.
Okay, well, I'm getting our photo. He blew it. We're getting our photo. Hold on. He did get a photo. Okay, you're in the photo.